Coronation Street fans believe they've cracked the mystery of Jodie and Shona's father, and he's already been hiding in plain sight. Soap fans love nothing more than a good mystery, and when it comes to Coronation Street, few things spark speculation quite like a secret family connection. Now, viewers are convinced they've uncovered a major twist involving newcomers Jodie Ramsey and Shona Platt, and if they're right, it could rewrite everything we thought we knew about their past. According to fans, the sisters' estranged father is none other than Graham Foster, a man viewers have already seen on screen. And the clues, they say, are hiding in plain sight. A reunion forged in chaos. Jodie Ramsey and Shona Platt's emotional reunion came under the most dramatic of circumstances, the explosive Corriedale crossover car crash that left multiple characters fighting for their lives. The high-stakes pile-up, which bridged Coronation Street and Emmerdale, didn't just deliver shock and spectacle, it also introduced a mystery that fans haven't stopped dissecting since. Jodie was revealed to be the woman found tied up in the boot of Emmerdale character Graham Foster's car, a discovery that immediately raised alarm bells. Who was she, why was she restrained, and what possible connection could she have to Graham? As the dust settled, answers began to emerge, but for many viewers, they only raised even bigger questions. Sisters reunited, wounds reopened. This week, Coronation Street viewers watched as Jodie and Shona finally came face to face, reunited after years of estrangement. The scenes were intimate, raw, and heavy with unresolved emotion, as the sisters cautiously reconnected and began to unpack the shared trauma that had driven them apart. Their bond, once broken, was slowly rebuilt through conversations about their childhood, their fractured family, and the choices that had forced him down separate paths. But it was Jodie's revelation about their father that truly ignited fan theories. Opening up about her past, Jodie revealed that after Shona left, she was abandoned, left behind with their controlling father. It was a brief but loaded confession, and for viewers paying close attention, it felt like a deliberate breadcrumb. The mention of a controlling dad immediately set social media alight. Fans spot a familiar pattern. Soap fans are famously sharp-eyed, and many were quick to notice parallels between Jodie's description of her father and the behavior viewers had already witnessed from Graham Foster. On forums, comment sections, and social media platforms, theories began to take shape, and one name kept resurfacing: Graham. Fans pointed out that Graham's controlling tendencies have been well established on Emmerdale. He is a character known for manipulation, intimidation, and an unsettling need for dominance, traits that align disturbingly well with Jodie's account of her upbringing. Before long, speculation turned into near certainty. Graham is their dad. One fan laid out a detailed theory that quickly gained traction online. She spoke about a controlling dad, the viewer wrote. So unless that's a lie, my theory was, Graham is Jodie's controlling dad. She tried to run away from him, but he caught her and tied her up in his van and was driving her to wherever he intended to take her. But the crash caused a problem, and Graham caught sight of Jo Tate, and in the process, Jodie escaped. Kit found her tied up, and now she's reunited with Shona. The theory struck a chord, neatly connecting the dots between Jodie's backstory, Graham's behavior, and the shocking reveal of her being restrained in his vehicle. Another viewer admitted they hadn't even finished the episode before reaching the same conclusion. I'm still halfway through the episode, but my theory is he's her dad. A third fan summed up the collective realization more succinctly. OMG, Graham is Shona and Jodie's dad. Too many clues to ignore. For many fans, the idea feels less like wild speculation and more like an inevitable reveal waiting to happen. Soap storytelling thrives on long-buried secrets, fractured families, and dramatic reunions. The notion that Graham, a character already known to viewers, could be the missing link in Shona and Jodie's past fits squarely within the genre's most beloved tropes. The fact that Jodie was found restrained in Graham's car only fuels the theory further. Viewers have questioned why Graham would be transporting her in such a manner unless there was a deeply personal, emotionally charged reason behind it. A stranger, Perhaps. But a controlling father desperate to reassert power. That makes chilling sense. The weight of control. Jodie's brief description of her father as controlling carries significant weight. In soap narratives, such language is rarely accidental. It signals danger, trauma, and unresolved emotional damage. If Graham is indeed their father, it reframes his actions not merely as criminal or cruel, but as part of a long-standing pattern of abuse. Fans have pointed out that Jodie's attempted escape, and Graham's violent response, mirrors countless real-world stories of victims trying to flee controlling family members. The restraint, the pursuit, the desperation to maintain control, all of it fits disturbingly well. For viewers, that realism makes the theory feel even more plausible. Shona's silence, Jodie's pain. Another detail fans have seized upon is Shona's apparent lack of awareness about what Jodie endured after she left. If Shona escaped their father's control and built a new life away from him, it would explain both her distance from Jodie and the guilt that now underpins their reunion. Jodie, left behind, would have borne the full weight of their father's domination alone, a narrative that adds emotional depth to her resentment, pain, and fractured relationship with her sister. For fans, this dynamic doesn't just make sense, it elevates the storyline. A crossover with purpose. The Corriedale crossover crash was one of the most ambitious soap events in recent memory, and viewers believe it would be wasted on a storyline without long-term consequences. Introducing Jodie in such a dramatic fashion, tying her to Graham, and then revealing her connection to Shona feels, to many, like deliberate groundwork for a major revelation. Soap crossovers are rare, and when they happen, they usually exist to change the status quo. A shared father between Coronation Street and Emmerdale characters would do exactly that. Has Graham been hiding in plain sight? Perhaps the most compelling aspect of the theory is how simple it feels in hindsight. Graham has already been on screen. Viewers already know his capacity for control and violence. His presence in the storyline doesn't require elaborate explanations or new introductions. In soap storytelling, the most powerful twists often come not from new characters, but from recontextualizing familiar ones. If Graham is revealed to be Jodie and Shona's father, fans will be able to look back and recognize the signs, the behavior, the tension, the unease, that were there all along. What comes next? As of now, Coronation Street bosses have remained tight-lipped, refusing to confirm or deny the fan theory. But that silence has only intensified speculation. If the theory proves true, it could open the door to a deeply emotional storyline exploring trauma, reconciliation, and the long shadow cast by abusive parents. For Shona and Jodie, it would mean confronting a past they both tried to escape, and deciding whether healing is possible when the source of their pain is still alive and dangerous. For viewers, it would be classic soap drama at its best, shocking, heartbreaking, and impossible to look away from. One thing is certain, fans will be watching closely for the next clue.